Hello viewers, my name is Joel Austin and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for following up the story, and that is my heart, knowing that there's somebody there outside that is watching, that there's somebody there who have maybe been touched by this story. And the person who is watching it for the first time, listen up to the end. Don't scroll, don't leave it. And if you are like, you're seeing this thing is wonderful, beautiful, and it's going to change something, it's going to define me in a certain way, subscribe, like, comment, tell us something. We are happy, we will be very happy and touched at the same time that there's a life there that is being defined by God. Thank you so much, and may God reach you more and more through my story. It's a life story. So last time it's a turning point, where God now turns in my life. It's a different thing.
He has come in.
He has come in, and He have formed something that have never been there in my heart before.
Yes.
Something we call passion, something we call desire, desire for Him. It must be God. It must be God forming that thing inside the person.
Yes.
Your desire is limited in a certain way. You can desire, yes, but until we tell God form that desire that is required to be able to tap you,
yes,
to be able to know you, to be able to become what you want. And I think at that moment God formed something that started driving me in a certain way.
It's only God who can form that desire.
It's only God can form that. It's only God. It's so powerful.
Yes.
And at this moment, it took some time, and going to school, going home, going through some challenges at home at the same time, and it was a different moments for me. There's something that I tapped. There's something that I got. And it's like it's changing my life in a certain way. It's tilting me in a certain angle. And there's a time now I came to a church, the same church, where God appeared to me. Because how can I leave that kind of a place where the presence of God is there and is seen? How can I? And I came to the church, but this time around it's like I was really broken. It's like there were a lot of issues and a lot of things that were taking place at home, the treatment, the behavior there back at home of my father, and some of the things that were happening. There was a lot of things that were happening. So it really...
That were making you not feel good?
Good at all. It really made me to feel bad. I feel completely rejected. I felt as if every single day it's becoming the end of the road in my life. It's like it's the end of me.
So it was like you are increasing in this way?
Yeah.
And also
there's something has come, and there are some of the things that are increasing in another side. On the other side that brings me down, just tries to pull me down.
This side is pulling you up?
Up, and there's something here I've tapped. There's something here that I'm experiencing, but there's something here again that is trying to pull me down. And I felt as if I can't. It's like I can't continue this way, and I was completely depressed. I really needed somebody to be able to speak with my life, to be able to hold my hands. I really needed somebody. We really need people. We really need somebody.
Yes, to hold your hand.
To hold hands. You cannot do it
alone. No,
no way.
Two are better than one.
Two are better than one. So I came to the church. And the preacher was still preaching. And after the preaching, it's something that I never saw that day. I was seeing it, but I was like not too serious or serious about it. I saw again something different. The more I was like, interacting with the people there, there's something God was opening my sight to see. I was seeing this man, the preacher now. It was different. It was simple. The man was simple. Very simple. Very simple.
And God loves simplicity.
Yeah, exactly. Simple. He was talking with the people, interacting with the people, even the children in the church.
Wow.
That simplicity. the man realized his position again, and is able to work there the way God wants him to work. And I could see how he was interacting with the people, greeting people.
Grace
And
comes in simplicity.
simplicity.
Yes.
And I could see this, and I was so touched. And I could see he sat with one of the young person there, talking to that young person. They are laughing together, and I said, I think this can be the end of my problems,
Okay.
because what I'm seeing.
So you are seeing something. And
There's
that's
something I'm seeing.
You're
That
seeing
side.
something.
Yeah.
And also you're saying this could be the thing that is going to end my.
Yeah,
My
exactly,
problem.
exactly. I think sight. When God wanted to see His grace operating, that sight has levels.
Yes, sight has levels.
So this level that I was in, it was the upper level whereby I've not seen something that is required to be seen at that moment, but it's a beginning. It's just a basic moment where God is laying basics in my life to be able to see something. But that is the beginning of approaching that deeper sight.
Okay. Okay.
So it's just layers, layers after
There's
layers. The more you
layers.
continue with God, the more you walk with Him, you open your eyes to be able to see the man of God in different way.
Yes.
A true person who have been called by God to see something inside that kind of a person.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm there and I'm like, my problems, it's ending today.
Wow.
It's like I felt this is the end of my
This is it.
problems. This is the end of the pain within me. This is the end. This is the end. And I was trying to connect it with the experience that I experienced one of the Sundays.
Okay.
There is something that he was talking about and brought to me a certain picture, and there was a supernatural move of God upon my life. And it's like I said, this is the end.
Yes.
And I moved to him.
You took a step.
I took a step when he was just talking to that young person, and I tapped him and I said, "After, can we talk?" And he said, "Yes, we
Wow,
will
wow.
talk." And we, after now finishing with the young boy, in fact he pulled me just aside, and we sat down.
Okay.
And we were quiet for a moment. The man was waiting. What is this man having?
This
it's
boy.
like the preacher was waiting. What is that thing that this boy want to tell me? But he knew that I was one of the new people who came, new members who came. And I began talking to the preacher. I began expressing myself out. I started telling him the treatment back at home, the harsh treatment, the pain that I was experiencing, the limitation in my education, the torture back in school, the embarrassment, the deepest issues that I could not feel as if I want to express it to another person. I just poured it out.
This was the time.
I found that this is a place. And when I was sharing with him, I felt as if he's listening to me. And he was there like, yeah, he's listening to me. He's ready to listen to me. And it was like serious. And then after that, I finished my story.
Okay.
Finishing my story.
You poured out
I
everything.
poured out
You
everything. I poured out
There's
everything.
power in sharing.
There's point sharing.
Yes.
I poured out everything to the man.
Yes.
And after that, he was able to talk with me. And it was the first time. It was the first time in my life
Yes.
to hear somebody calling me a son. It was for the first time
To hear somebody calling you a son.
to hear somebody calling me a son.
Wow. What did you feel? Belonging, love. What?
I felt as if the spirit of rejection is being defeated. It's being pushed away. It's like I'm overcoming. It's like there's that spirit that tried to bring me out to overcome the situation, the circumstances that I was going through. I felt as if I'm overcoming.
Yes.
There's some of the things that I'm overcoming. When he called me that word, son, it's so painful when I was connecting it with the past things.
Yeah. And also the things that you're going at home.
Well, yeah, exactly. And he called me a son. A son is something that, a son. How do you feel after being rejected for so many days? How do you feel when somebody comes and calls you my daughter,
my
son, how do you feel? You feel
Family.
so much loved.
Yes.
You feel vulnerable. You feel valued. And I felt so much loved. Even before it continued, my son, that only
That
word,
word.
one word,
My son.
my son. He called me my son. I don't know what he was saying at that moment. And he told me, you know, he told me words that I will put them in the phrasing, I will phrase them, but he told me some of the things that never left my heart.
Yes.
And he told me, my son, it's like when you're talking to me, I'm reminded of a story of a young man in the Bible.
Yes.
And it was for the first time also listening, hearing the story of Joseph.
Yeah, you had not heard it before.
I've never heard it before. And so if you've never read the story of Moses and you're listening to this
Joseph.
video, just go and
The
read
story of
that.
Joseph.
Just go and read it. It's so interesting. So he told me there was a boy in the Bible who was called Joseph. And he was born, he was the last born, and he was the 12th born. Because the father had 12 sons, and he was the last one. And the father really loved him.
Yes.
The father really loved him, but the brothers really despised him, rejected him, abandoned him, and never valued the God he was talking about, or maybe the visions they mocked.
Dreams.
They made fun of the visions and the dreams that he was seeing. And later on, they really treat him harshly, and they dump him in the hole, and then later on they sold him, and then after that they never even cared about the feeling, and about the father back at home, how the father will feel. They never cared about that. This young man had been sold. This man had been rejected
And
by
even
his
the
own
feelings
brothers.
of the son himself.
The son himself. Why do this to me? What have I done? You're supposed to love me.
It's my
Just
family.
I am your brother. I am your brother. I'm the younger brother. You're supposed to care for me.
Yes.
Take care for me. Why are you doing this? What is this for? They sold Joseph. And when I was listening to this story, when he was telling me this story, there was a lot of resonance. I saw myself in the word.
You saw yourself.
I saw myself in that story. I saw myself. And I could not wait to listen to the end of the boy. Being a great person in the future, to be able to help also the brothers.
Yes.
Imagine.
Wow.
Imagine. So
Wow.
the person you help today, or maybe the person you help today might be a big act to you in the future.
Yes,
Who will
yes.
be able to maybe help you, maybe carry you in floods, killing other people. Be able to act like a boat in your life.
So there is a sight that he
There
saw
was a sight.
for him to be able to tell you that story.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're able to
And-
take that story and say, this is me.
This is me. And I felt as if I'm being sent into the future. The words are sending me into the future. It's like these things are sending me into the future.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. What God wants to see in a man,
Yes.
that is what defines a man. What God wants to see in a man, that is what defines a man. It's like this man was speaking the defining from God. It's like he was defined by God in a certain way. He was able to see the way God is seeing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like there was once a wise man said, you don't know how to be, you don't know how to do things until you read the Word of God.
Yeah.
You don't know how to
Yeah.
become a man until you read the Word of God,
Yes.
until you come to God Himself.
He's
You
the-
don't know.
He's the one who created
He's
you.
the one who created. He knows
You
you.
don't know how to
You
become.
don't know how
To become.
until
You come to Him.
until you come to Him and you read His Word.
Yes.
And it's like this man became what God wanted to see inside him. And he was able to speak. And I think that is the definition of men. Men, you don't know how to be a man until God defines you.
Yeah, he has to define it.
Until God defines you. You have to, it's like you're not a man until God defines you as a man.
And even a woman or a young person,
Even, yeah.
A woman,
Yeah,
you don't know
exactly.
whom to be.
You
You don't know
don't
how to become a woman.
You don't know.
You don't know how to
exactly.
become a young man.
You don't know how to be. You don't know. Your
Unless
Creator
God-
knows you. He will
unless you come to
define you.
Him.
Unless you come to Him.
So our definition does not come from the people,
from things that we see around.
from the things that are physical,
Exactly.
from the tribes you come from.
Exactly.
Our definition comes from God.
From God. That your definition don't come from men.
People cannot define you.
Not what you want to see can define you,
Yeah.
but what God wants to see inside you can
Yes.
define you.
Oh yes.
Exactly. And it's like, what this man, even if I tell people to become what they want to be, I'm just like you. We are in the same pace.
Yes.
But what God wants you to be is what can define you as a man. It is what can define you
If you see that.
if you see that, and if
Yes.
you come to God. And he continued telling me these things. Telling me these
Yes.
things. So powerful. So